A very warm welcome to Adda 247, the official YouTube channel of Bankers Adda and SSC Adda. Now today we are here to discuss a very important topic, that is rearrangement of sentences. These rearrangement of sentences are also known as para jumbles. Now why do we call it para jumbles? We have a paragraph that is divided into 6 to 8 sentences, and these 6 to 8 sentences are given in jumbled form. And that is why we call it para jumbles. Now we have two types of para jumble, type 1 and type 2. Type 1 says you will be given 6 to 8 sentences that will be in jumbled form, and you will be asked 5 questions of 5 marks. That means 1 mark for 1 question. The question will be like, which of the following is the second sentence after rearrangement? So what do you have to do is, after rearranging the sentence, just look at it, which is the second sentence, and you have to take it. Type 2 says you will be given an opening sentence and you will be given a closing sentence. And there will be 4 sentences between these 2 sentences. What you have to do is you have to arrange these 4 sentences, and you will be given the options like this: PQ, RS, RS, PQ. 4 options will be given like this. Now look, you have to correct one option from this. This type is asked in banking examination and this type is asked in SSC examination. Here you have to arrange the whole sequence, and here you have to arrange only the part that is given between opening sentence and closing sentence. Now let's come to the strategies how to solve rearrangement of sentences. The strategies are of 2 types. One says search for the first sentence. Now how will we get to know which is the first sentence in the rearrangement? The first thing that you will do is search the independent sentence. What does independent sentence mean? It means that it should convey its meaning by its own. It should not be dependent on any other sentence. Like if there is a pronoun mentioned in the first sentence, it will never be an independent sentence. Why? Because pronoun is used in place of a noun. So you should see this, you should note that independent sentence never follows a pronoun or this, that, these are also kind of pronouns only. Second thing that you will notice, first you have got independent sentence. Suppose you have got 2 to 3 independent sentences. Next you do is search for the nouns. You will have to search the nouns in these 2 to 3 independent sentences. Next you will do is search for the nouns. Suppose you get 2 to 3 nouns over here. When you get 2 to 3 nouns, now any one of these could be the subject. In 2 to 3 nouns, any one of these could be the subject. Now you know the subject. You don't know the introductory part. You only know the subject of which the rearrangement is given. Last thing to know the first sentence is search for the introductory sentence. Introductory sentence which introduces the subject that you found in step C. Now you know which of the following is the first sentence. Second thing that you need to do is search the central part. What does central part contain? There are certain words that are used in central part only, like we have, moreover, we have, however, we have this, that, notwithstanding, or nevertheless. If we have a sentence mentioned in these kind of words, so this will be in the central part. That means anywhere after the first sentence or before the last sentence. Now let's move further. Now what do we have to do is search the last part. Now as we all know, last part contains something which concludes something or something which is a summary, which defines a summary of something. So we have words like concluding, thus, hence, finally, at last, last one. If we have words like this mentioned in the sentence, this sentence will be placed in the last one. Now here you have known which will be the first part, which will be the central part, or which will be the last part. There are times when we do not search, we are not able to search the first sentence or the second sentence or the last sentence. In that case, we try another strategy, that is making logical pairs. So the next strategy says making logical pairs. What does logical pairs say? We have 3 points in it. If we have a noun and a pronoun, place it together. For example, now suppose we have 6 sentences given over A, B, C, D, E and F. Now in sentence number A, we have Professor 1 speaking something and he is related to sentence Professor 1. Now we very well know here he is indicating Professor number 1 only. So you know that we will place A and E together. Next rule says if we have a statement and an example given together, what will we do? We will place it together. For example, as we have done here, Professor 1 takes this. So if we have another professor given in here and we have his example given in F, we very well know what? C will be placed with F. So we will place C and F together. Last says if you have a subject and subject has an introductory sentence, we will place it together. What does it say? Now we have a subject given, suppose we have debentures written over here. If we have debentures written over here and the explanation is in point number D, explanation of debentures. So what will we do is place B and D together. B concludes the subject and D concludes its explanation. Now you don't have to search the first sentence. We have the pairs given over here and you need to place the pairs correctly. First thing that will be coming is subject and its introductory part, that is B and D. After that, Professor 1, that is A and E, and after that another professor that is given in C and F. So this is how you solve it. Now if we talk about Professor 1 and Professor 2, so if we place A and C together, that is talking about both the professors, and if we place E and F together, that is the examples of Professor 1 and Professor 2. Now this arrangement will be wrong. Why? Because you will not know which example is associated with which professor. So the correct rearrangement will be place the example with the statement, that is B, D, A, E and C, F. That is how we solve it. Now let's take an exercise to solve this. Now here we are with an exercise of rearrangement. I want you to note it down, solve it by yourself, and then we'll discuss how to solve it. I hope you have noted it down and solved it. Now let's discuss it. What will be the correct rearrangement? The first sentence starts with moreover, and as I told you, moreover will never come in the first sentence. That is why we will eliminate this. Moving further, in B sentence we have this written, and I already told you this will be in the central part anywhere after the first sentence and before the last sentence. So this will not be the first sentence. Moving further, public sector enterprises have been experiencing severe challenges in attracting, motivating and retaining their key staff. It's an independent sentence, so we will write it over here. Next says, having identified these as the reason. I told you these will never be in the first sentence. Moving further, one reason. What kind of reason or why the reason has been given here, we don't know, so we will not place it in the first sentence. Next is employees in specialist roles specially emphasizes something, and when we are emphasizing something we need to give some other part and then only we can emphasize it. So this will not be in the first sentence. So the first sentence will be C. Why? Because it is the only independent sentence given in the rearrangement. Public sector enterprises have been experiencing severe challenges in attracting, motivating and retaining their key staff. Now, we have mentioned that they are facing what? Severe challenges in attracting, motivating and retaining their key staff, that is related to employees. Now, all the employees are mentioned and you need to emphasize a certain part. How can we emphasize this? Employees in specialist roles specially. Now, here we emphasize a part of all the key staff. So, F will be placed after C. Next, this trend should be, which trend is it talking about? It is talking about the trend that is PSEs are facing in attracting, motivating or retaining their key staff. So, this trend should be a wake-up call for stakeholders to examine why employees are seeking better opportunities with private company in India or abroad. So, we will place B after F. Now, there is a question over here which says why are they facing such problem? So, where are the reasons? The first reason given here, one reason is that young employees lured away by private firms are more willing to take professional risks. Young employees are very much attracted towards the private firms. Why? Because they are offered various kind of salaries, they are offered innumerable perks. That is why they get lured away, they get attracted away by the private firms. So, we will place E after B. Why? Because this is the answer to the question that is given in B point. Next, moving further, there is a word moreover given over here. Moreover, salaries in PSEs are not as competitive as those offered by private or foreign corporate. Now, this is an additional point which is also a reason to why employees are seeking better opportunities. So, we will place A after E. The last part will be having identified these as the reasons. So, now whatever reasons we have mentioned in B, E and A, having identified these as the reasons why employees leave PSEs, it is important to empower stakeholders to find ways to remedy the situation. Now, it is important that stakeholders should look out these problems and know what are the problems and what measures they can, what remedy they can apply to solve these problems. The correct statement or correct rearrangement is C, F, B, E, A, D. I hope you enjoyed this video and you are able to solve the arrangement exercises from now onwards. Do subscribe our YouTube channel Adda 247, the official YouTube channel for Bankers Adda and SSC Adda, and don't forget to download our Adda 247 app from Play Store. Thank you.